The wars of the first men and the children of the forest ended with the Pact, carved into the Isle of Faces and witnessed by the old gods themselves. With it, the Dawn Age gave way to a new chapter in history, the Age of Heroes. This was an era that stretched for thousands of years, when men and women of legendary stature carved kingdoms out of wilderness and gave birth to the great houses of Westeros. The Age of Heroes began in peace. The Pact gave the first men room to spread from the land of always winter to the summer sea. With fertile lands to farm, herds to graze, and fortresses to build, their numbers grew. Dozens, even hundreds of petty kings rose across Westeros. From their halls and ring forts, they claimed dominion over the land. Over time, some of these kings proved stronger than the rest. Their domains grew, swallowing weaker neighbors. From these early realms would emerge the seeds of the kingdoms we know today. But the Age of Heroes is remembered not for dynasties or borders, but for the figures who lived larger than life. Brandon the Builder, said to have raised Winterfell and the Wall. Garth Greenhand, first king of the Reach, who made the fields bloom. Lann the Clever, who tricked the Casterlies out of their rock. Durran Godsgrief, who built Storm's End against the wrath of the sea. These names echo through the halls of Westeros, woven into the bloodlines of the great houses. Yet the truth behind them is clouded. What we know of the Age of Heroes comes from songs, sagas, and histories written thousands of years later. Septs and maesters set down tales that had already been reshaped by singers, twisted for the amusement of lords. Take Serwyn of the Mirror Shield. Songs claim he slew a dragon by hiding behind a polished shield. But they also number him among the Kingsguard, an order that was not founded until Aegon the Conqueror, thousands of years later. This is no history but invention. A first man transformed into a knight who served kings long after his death. Or consider Simeon Stareyes, said to have been blind but deadly, fighting with a long staff tipped with blades. Did he truly live, or is he only a tale meant to inspire awe? The Maesters caution us, when we speak of the founders of realms, we speak of men who ruled petty domains, not vast kingdoms. Garth Greenhand may have called himself King of the Reach, but his authority likely stretched no farther than a fortnight's ride from his hall. Only in later centuries did singers magnify these lords into conquerors of all Westeros. Yet not all is myth. Some ruins endure. Barrow fields across the north are etched with runes of the first men. Ancient castles still stand where these legendary kings are said to have ruled. These stones are the only evidence that the Age of Heroes was real, though they cannot prove the tales sung about its heroes. The Age of Heroes is credited with giving rise to nearly every major house. The Starks of Winterfell descended from Brandon the Builder, Wardens of the North. The Lannisters of Casterly Rock, claiming blood from Lann the Clever, trickster and thief. The Durrandons of Storm's End, kings said to be born of Durran Godsgrief and Eleni, daughter of the sea and wind. The Gardeners of Highgarden, descended from Garth Greenhand, whose seed sired countless lines. Each of these houses wrap themselves in legend, binding their bloodlines to larger-than-life figures. Whether these men and women truly lived as described is uncertain, but their names endured. The Age of Heroes was not just kings and castles, it was an age of stories, when men and women became myth. We hear of knights who lived centuries before knighthood, of monsters fought and slain, of impossible feats achieved. Most are fabrications, but within them lies a seed of truth. The first men were shaping the world, carving order out of wildness. It was an age where mortals grasped at the divine. Durran Godsgrief was said to have stolen the daughter of the sea god and the wind, angering them so greatly that storms destroyed his castles again and again. Only when he built Storm's End, a fortress no storm could breach, was their wrath defeated. A fable perhaps, but also a symbol of man's defiance against a hostile world. Over thousands of years, the Age of Heroes laid the foundation for everything that followed. Kingdoms rose and fell, dynasties flourished, then vanished. But the legends endured, carried in story and song, until even truth and lie became indistinguishable. The Age of Heroes was long, but it was not eternal. For after centuries of peace and growth came the greatest darkness the world has ever known, the Long Night, when a winter without end descended upon the world, and the others came forth from the farthest north. Thus the Age of Heroes stands between myth and history, a time of grand figures, half remembered, half imagined. Some may have been real, their bones buried beneath runes and ruins. Others are inventions of singers, made to flatter lords and kings, yet all are part of the tapestry of Westeros. In our next episode, we turn to terror and despair. When the sun vanished for a generation, when monsters rode the winds of winter, and when the world itself nearly ended. Join us as we explore the Long Night.